You're definitely in a competitive business. When I think about this market and like specifically like Naples is a very competitive space when it comes to financial services. And I think it's important because there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the room and competition is normal and it's part of life, it's part of business. But how do you build something that's differentiated in a place where like the industry has like a few options for your clients, but you're looking at doing something unique. So I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, there's two standards in our industry. It's really important that everybody knows this. So one is called the suitability standard, and that is majority of financial advisors operate under the suitability standard. So that would be a Merrill Lynch, a UBS, a Morgan Stanley, anybody that can receive commissions. And what that means is the investments have to be suitable. So it wouldn't be suitable to take a highly aggressive fund and put it in an 85-year-old's account, right? You couldn't do that. The challenge is there's an inherent conflict of interest in the suitability standard because I can have two investments and they're both suitable, but this one here might pay the advisor more than what this one would, right? So it's an inherent conflict. I wanted to be a pure fiduciary. Fiduciary is the highest standard, and what that means is we are legally obligated to put our clients' interests ahead of our own. So I think we've educated people more, clients know more. I mean, some of that Fisher commercial is great because people are like, oh, like that Fisher? I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. So, but I would say that's a key differentiator, and we've really been able to drive that home. The only people that can pay us are our clients. We can't get paid shelf space to have funds access, none of that. If somebody has $10 million, if they have 15, it might not change their life that much. But if somebody has $10 million and now they have 5, it's going to change their life.
It's going to change things. So. Yeah. No, thank you for that insight. I guess going back to the emotions piece, how do you keep everyone calm when things are going like this on a weekly basis?
Probably the most important part of our job is keeping people from making emotional decisions. I mean, it's so easy today with everything going on. You can always find an excuse to say, this time it's going to be different. The reality is it's time in the market, not timing it. And keeping people from making some of those emotional decisions is probably the hardest thing. I mean, when you think back of, when I think of 2008 and 2009, it was a very difficult time, obviously huge sell-offs. But as I think back in my career, back in the 2000s with the .com, I would almost say that was even more difficult because there would be a company that had no earnings and I'd tell a client not to buy it and it would double the next week. So I'd say, hey Craig, you told me not to buy this. Well, ultimately we were right, but you talk about a really difficult time. I mean, every cocktail party somebody was just talking about how much money they made and the Munder net fund or whatever it was. So I think, controlling those emotions.
Yeah.
And we really do try to educate clients, but I will tell you, like, what's going on now, which is really unique, we were talking in our office the other day, is we have gotten very few calls. Normally when markets are this and what's going on with the war, that you would almost expect a little bit more calls. People say, Craig, I'm sure you're getting a bunch of calls. The reality is we're not. I think the market today would tell you is it believes this is going to end in not too long of a period of time, and that's why it's continuing to do well. Now, obviously things can change there, but that's what the market's clearly telling you. But if you think about most of you that have businesses and what I found with our clients, most of our clients' businesses are doing pretty well right now. So I'm still pretty optimistic. One of our clients that really rallied around me is a heating and air, and he said, Craig, I can move things around and take things out multiple stories, which turned out to just be a great thing. But wanted to create something different. I think it's turned out it's great, it's unique. One of my favorite things, I think, the U.S. hockey team, when they played, we had an event for that. I mean, that was a really powerful experience in here that I saw.
Isn't this space great? It takes vision to see what could be, because of course, if there's another ceiling here and separate, like, how's this going to look like?
The landlord is giving me a hard time though. I said, I'm going to build this mezzanine, and he said, oh, well, you're going to have to sign that when you're done with the lease, that you have to take everything out. I said, promise me, you will not want to take it out.
As you look ahead, you've had a really great road of success in the last 7 years. What does it look like in the next year or two? Just be curious.
I think wealth management, we're doing more and more what we call family office services, but I would say lifestyle advisory. I mean, what I'm finding is, especially with widows and things, I mean, people are lonely, and I think we need to create a community. So I think overall with wealth management, what you're going to see us do more is we're going to help create community around people. I have a very good client. She lost her husband 15 years ago. He's actually my best friend. I was talking with her one day, and she said, Craig, I'm lonely. She's 78 years old. She feels like she's missing out. So, to us, I think, having really deep relationships. Somebody else was asking me, how do you create scale in your business with clients? And I went to one of our clients, her name's Sandy, and I said, Sandy, why do you work with us? And she said, because I feel like you get me my kids, you understand the dynamics. And we're dealing with a lot of tough stuff today. I mean, I think you guys see it. There's siblings that don't talk to each other. There's families that don't even talk to each other about politics. There's substance abuse, mental health. I mean, there's so much there. So I think helping guidance, give clients guidance around how do they get help will be more and more important. It's not just, the investments are really important, but that's table stakes. I mean, we're going to be expected to say, how do we help out the family and more things?
No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Findley.
Thank you.